Dun, 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 dun. Isn't that like the Sports Center theme?
I think that's
I went a little off at the end.
I think that's Indiana Jones.
Oh. Maybe Indiana Jones is more appropriate.
What's up, friends?
Second ever live stream. Very exciting.
Aaron chasing the sun. And I'm assuming our other participants are your parents?
It does say my mom is watching. I guess it could technically
Is that
be
them?
your mom. It says your mom is watching. Your mama.
Oh, that is. Is it? Don't change your name.
Ah.
Chasing the Sun RV Travels.
I've got a new name.
That's what's up. The picture's like
Yeah, it's this big on our screen. So.
Less than a centimeter.
Yeah.
Anyways, hello everybody.
Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome to our live stream.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can make that any more awkward. Today, we're going to be chatting about...
Hey, what's up, Nicholas? What's up, bro?
Yo!
Nick King, he's in Tampa too. My homie we used to work together for 5 years.
Yeah,
Actually, more than that, because we just didn't interact in the So anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, so today we're going to be chatting about all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
If you watched our last live stream, we were talking a lot about electrical and plumbing inspections, kind of how we've gotten to this point. That's all in the past now because we have passed our electric and plumbing inspections as of last week.
Yes, Thursday.
Very, very exciting.
Hey, what's up, Dad? Cambodia? There's a crackling noise.
Oh.
Is it, your microphones are directly on your computer, right? From the monitor? Is anyone else hearing a crackling noise?
We'll wait and see. Yeah, so we're going to chat about what comes after inspections, what we're looking forward to, some exciting things we have coming up.
Dad said yes.
Oh.
Why don't you change the mic or something for a second?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can figure this out without ruining everything.
It's really weird though, because it's just plugged in.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole monitor is a what's it called? It's a microphone, a little one. Nick said.
Little one.
Nick, this is where I game. This is where we play Call of Duty right there, everybody.
I'll look into it. I don't know if I can change it, so
sorry,
I'm
everybody.
sorry. I'm sorry. I failed you.
Next time we'll try to use the other. What about that button?
The mute button?
Oh, that should solve it.
Oh, well, that's gonna be a fun live stream.
Oh gosh, it is so hot.
Whew. Yeah, so we're in the office.
Sorry for the crackling noise.
Sorry for the crackling noise. We're in the office and it doesn't have curtains yet. So we're just feeling the sun right on us. But yeah, let's just dive into it since we're now a couple minutes in. So let's chat about what it took to get from our first inspections where we didn't get a pass, and then we had our second inspections last week where we did get the gold star to move forward. Yeah,
so it was really helpful that the inspectors, they deal with all sorts of people, mainly contractors. So me not being a contractor, I don't know if they normally do. The plumbing inspector was like, hey, I hear the crackling noise too, but the sound is great. Okay, sorry about the crackling noise. It might be for the duration. I don't know. I don't know why, because it's the same system as the camera. But they went over. The plumbing plumbing and electric went exactly like, hey, this is what's wrong with it. This is what you need to fix it. And that's what really helped expedite repairs. Like, oh, okay. It was kind of I wouldn't say annoying or anything, or like a big defeat. Mm-hmm. Obviously it felt like, oh, I would have been really nice to get the gold star and like, oh, you did it great the first time. You're awesome. But like, it's not a surprise. Yeah. And when they both left, they're like, this looks awesome. The system looks great, but and what you did would work even with electric, but it's like it's not the code. So just change this code. Just swap this out, swap this wire, swap this breaker, and good to go. And the plumbing was a little bit more intense. So we did add a vent. I didn't have the last few fixtures vented properly. It's really bright at me, so I'm sorry about that. So that was a little tricky, but we got it done, and the sun's just going to continue.
Yeah, we're just going to like this and then
yeah, we're right next to each other. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it.
Do they normally tell you like what you have to fix?
I believe they should. I mean, I can't tell you because I'm not a contractor. I don't do this all the time. But when they when they, at least in the electric, he's like, hey, he wrote it down and he has references of what it's supposed to be. So it was really, I mean, I held that off for a while because I was like, I'm gonna knock this out in like a morning, and I think I did.
Yeah.
So actually, I think I took my time, but yeah, we're good on that. He gave us a lot of pointers on solar too. So solar is going to be closed out when we finalize the house, and
it's a separate permit.
It's a separate permit.
There's
Yeah.
Plumbing, electric, and solar.
Yeah, they're different. So if they, hey George.
Hi George and Tracy.
Nice to see you, George Miller. So they, they're just gonna close it out, but they're like, but we actually, before the inspector came inside, and we went through. He was just like, hey man, at a glance, I can tell you this is for the solar. So that was really helpful too. I contacted a solar installer that's in the neighborhood, and yeah,
loosely used.
Because there was a couple of questions that I just didn't know the answers to. I found the code, but I'm like, what is the actual product? Point me in the direction of a product I can just buy and install it. And then he did, and then he emailed us again today.
Oh yeah.
And then clarified a couple things, so it's going to be a lot better, be a little easier to install. He uses the inverters I have, so he's versed in that. So we should be good. It might be too early, but maybe next weekend we might have power at the house.
Very tentatively next weekend. And this is a big one just because, I mean, it's not just power in the house, which is really important, obviously. But in order for us to be able to call the people that installed our well pump and connect it to our house, they were like, you have to have electric going there, obviously. And then we also needed, what was the other requirement?
They just said it needed to be warm in there.
Oh,
It's plenty warm.
Yeah, way above freezing. So we've been there for a while, especially now that we started insulation. But if we can get the electric to the house, then those guys can come out like basically next day almost. And we can get water, which is great. And that's because right now we have like a really like awkwardly rigged cistern system.
I installed it,
Yeah, it works, which is great. But the idea is like it would not pass any kind of code, and it's not.
It's just a temporary system for us to work on the RV.
Yeah, so if we can get the house connected to the well, right, then we're like done.
We'll connect the RV right to there, and then
I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
If anyone is full-time RVing in this capacity,
it's hard.
It's not really. It's just like it's tiring. Because the thing is, like, I'm trying to do other stuff, and then there's like, okay, cool, but you got to do this to survive, you know. So I have to be under the RV, and then those days are dwindling down, and it's not as cold anymore, so it's not better. But it's annoying.
Yeah, it's a very, I don't know. You have to be a very specific type of person to choose to live off grid in an RV at nearly 10,000 feet of elevation. Yeah. Apparently we're those people, but we don't really want to do it anymore. So we're excited to get into our house.
It's been 2 years.
Over 2 years we've now been living in our RV. Yeah. Not interested in it anymore.
nothing against RV living.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a capacity.
Yes.
And then you're like, I can live here. I can sleep in this area. And then like, oh, it's not done yet. So yeah. I think Conan might come in.
So that's pretty much where we're at right now. You know, if you guys had watched last week's video, you probably knew some of that, but we're kind of moving, I would say full steam ahead, but we're really moving actually like a little bit of steam in a lot of directions. So let's kind of, there's Conan. So we'll kind of chat about that because
I might leave the door open. It's hot.
So we were trying to figure out, right? So we passed inspections. Basically, the last 3 months, all we've been doing is electrical and plumbing. We did do our insulation for a little bit.
We did a lot. We did the insulation,
the crawl space encapsulation.
Yeah.
We did other things, but it was really predominantly electrical and plumbing. And so now we're at this point where we can almost do like
it's basically everything.
And everything.
Everything that needs to be done. Kona is in the house.
Kona! No, Cones, come here, Cones. Come here. Come
say hi.
No.
She's like, yeah, there's Kona.
This is Cones. Jazz is over there too. Don't worry, she gets love. Hi. So let's chat about like all the stuff we have to do kind of like now.
Yeah,
There's a
so
lot.
there's a lot to do. There's basically a lot of stuff to do with like the whatever insulation that we want to put in there.
Yep, insulation.
Insulation's the biggest one. I wish we could have finished everything with spray foam, because then that's it.
Yeah.
This is all the spray foam. This is the first time I've worn this probably since then. I just grabbed it, whatever. There's a lot of things I just don't care about anymore.
Yeah.
And then drywall. We just picked up 30 sheets of drywall. So I bought 17 for the office. I don't know how I came up with that math, but we had 7 sheets left over. So we put that up.
Yep.
It's on the wall, and then
in the house.
In the house. Sorry, and then we have. I didn't even calculate how many we needed for the house. I just I'm just gonna get 30 sheets and then see what happens, because it's gonna be more than 30.
Right, it'll be more.
And I don't want to get too much because I don't want to return it or just have it sitting there. So
we're
Ryan rocking the foam. Yeah.
We're really trying to minimize like the leftover materials we know we won't use.
Mm-hmm.
So with the office, it was kind of okay because we're like, we did that
We'll
a few
move it
months
to the
ago.
house.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
We obviously have future projects, but we can't just like leave drywall laying around.
No,
our
it's
house
gonna
isn't
get
big
messed
enough
up.
for that.
So drywall.
So drywall.
I would love to go into the Springs and then get all the tile. We were gonna bring the tile work, some of the samples.
Oh yeah.
And we literally just got back from the store probably 10 minutes before, 10, 15 minutes before we got here. And so I need to clean them up. We'll do another live stream. And
Next time.
Everything that I think that we're going to do at a certain time, just add like 4 or 5 months to that. So we'll get to tile after Chelsea's parents leave in August or something.
Better not be.
No, I want to be in the house by then.
We also haven't finalized our tile decision or choices.
Exactly that. There's a couple of that. So there's that. We have all the cabinets now.
Oh
it's
yeah.
like acclimating in the house.
Cabinets.
Yep. And then yeah, exactly. I definitely joked with Chelsea the other day. I was like, your mom's really good at tile work.
No one's going to come visit us if we keep forcing everyone to do work whenever they show up.
No, I want you to come visit and just relax. We'll go on a hike and enjoy the view, other things. Just enjoy our time together.
Kitchen cabinets, yep. So those are all here, acclimating in the house. Not that we're ready to install them yet.
Yeah, and we didn't even open them, so they're like acclimating.
Flooring we're going to do after the cabinets,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. So that can happen. It's kind of like, what order do we want to do things in?
Flooring is what flooring is like, you're basically doing, because you got trim work after that. But like we've done floors. Yep. And we've done it here.
Our old house.
The house before that. So I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I'm not as intimidated. But basically all that other stuff is just like.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's painting. That's much further down the line.
Yep.
But drywall and mudding's a big one. And getting the ceiling covered as well. So once the insulation's up.
Yeah, and it's not going to be drywall.
Because we're not doing drywall.
Yeah.
We actually, I guess if money wasn't a factor, which of course it is, but if money wasn't a factor, I think I would. Okay,
hire
if money wasn't a factor, I'd hire someone. Sorry.
We wouldn't be chatting here on YouTube.
If I had all the money in the world, but I could only still use it on things I was going to do myself, which is like a weird caveat, I probably still wouldn't do drywall.
Yeah, I don't think we would do drywall.
Drywall
is more affordable. Probably would have done. I would even have considered. We at one point we were going to do plywood.
Oh, that's true.
We did consider plywood, especially when we were like add strength on the interior as well, interior of the house, and then that thing's not going anywhere.
It's fine.
The only thing that's going to go anywhere is I say it every video almost, is like a flashing of the does on it. Yeah. That's not going anywhere. This is going to meat rattle. No. What else would you do?
Like if I could just afford any design
choice
I wanted? That's a good question. I haven't even thought about it.
Drywall would be really hard to lift high. Yeah.
That's why we're not doing it, because it's just like everyone's like, oh, you got to get one of those lifts. So I'm like, okay, well, we could have used a lift, like a drywall lift in here. I mean, it only ended up being like 3 or 4 pieces, so it wasn't a big deal. But we did it in our old house in our laundry room when we renovated, and I was just like, it's not fun. It's not fun to me.
There are jigs and stuff to make it easier for like 1 or 2 people to do it. Yeah. But lifting it up, we are going to put a backing on it. It's just going to be like 1/5 of an inch, so it's really pretty light.
Yeah, it's like a plywood.
Yeah, like a plywood.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many like things I feel like in the interior design world I just don't even know about. And then if I was like, I could afford anything, like I would go look for something really unique. Like, I don't know why this is the first thing that comes to mind, but remember like huge sheets of like natural stone in like bathrooms. I'm not talking about like large format tile. I'm talking about like a whole wall size, like something like that.
You would do that
in a bathroom.
Oh, in the bathroom.
Yeah, but like if that exists for a bathroom, something like that, something absolutely wild and unaffordable probably exists for like regular walls. I'm like,
I consider that maybe on the shower wall all the way up.
That'd be really cool.
That'd be cool.
Like we've seen it in kitchens, like as a backsplash. And I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But again, very expensive and probably very difficult to install too.
I've seen some of those guys do it, and just because they're wizards with math and geometry and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we have drywall coming up.
And also the cladding on the outside. We've held off on that. We've held off on that. A couple of reasons. One reason.
What's the biggest reason?
The biggest reason is because as soon as we start, it's going to be a while to finish. We know that it's not really interesting. It's been cold too. I didn't really want to be out there when it's cold and windy. Today is a beautiful day, but there have been. I told Chelsea, I was like, we should just go out there on the nice days, do a little bit, do like in a couple hours because it's going to be. But
I don't know.
Whatever. It might just be in June. And it's like, throw it up, let's go. You know, we do have it all.
Yeah.
And then we have, we pretty much have everything for it. It's not going to be too special, and we'll do a whole video about that whenever we do start. But yeah.
I think my like prediction was it's going to be one of the last things we do just because of the weather. And now we're at a point where it's like if we start to get some of that stuff done in the house, like the solar, hooking up the well, the kitchen cabinets, it's like
we can enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like, oh shoot, we might as well just do the flooring and go get our kitchen appliances and then stop using our tiny RV kitchen that we've been cooking in for 2 years. So it's like, oh, is the cladding important at that point? It is, but it doesn't give us any like functionality.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we are doing a dishwasher. We're doing a dishwasher. No garbage disposal because we're on septic. There is a thing. There's a product called Sapura, right? Sapura. I think it's S-E. I don't know how. Everyone freaking spells that same name. You know, you go to Sephora, it's basically that, but it's Sephora. So there is a thing that I think it's called Sapura.
Sapura, I think.
Sapura, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a new thing, and I think I might have sent it to you. Goats. We passed some goats.
Konas, we already have goats. They're just dogs. It's fine. They're composters.
So there's a thing called a Sapura, and you can put it in the same place as a garbage disposal, but it'll just separate food from the water, and then you take that and compost it. So
I think we're gonna try it out.
Yeah, we might try that. I don't think we're gonna load it up right now off the bat. Maybe later this year or something, and then goats are better.
Yeah, we don't even have like a compost system set up yet. It's one of those things that we'll get to.
We just threw our composter out, I think.
Yeah, it broke. Because
it broke, and then they're like, "Yeah, you can fix it for this amount of money." I was like, "That's the same price as the composter." So.
Yeah. So we'll get to it. Yeah. But we definitely, like, if you live in the city and you're connected to city sewer,
bacteria in there, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say like the biome of your
gut biome of the septic.
The gut biome. And you don't want that because it's really expensive to fix. So we're going to try and avoid that as much as possible. But
yeah, we have all the appliances. They're at, most of them, or all of them at your sister's apartment.
I think all of them are.
Yeah, they're all there. We have
our entire kitchen's in Lauren's garage.
We have a vanity over in the storage for the main bathroom.
Yeah.
And then the sink is somewhere. I think I took it to the storage as well. So we pretty much have, we don't have the paint.
We have almost everything.
Almost everything. Yeah, we just gotta do the work. Ugh.
You know, one thing we don't have, our kitchen counters.
Oh, we don't have the kitchen counter. After we were gonna go out in town today, and we're right by the. There's a local spot that has everything wood, lumber, everything.
Like a forestry guy.
Yeah, he's gonna help us plant the windbreaks. So it's very windy here, so he's gonna help us with that.
Yeah.
And then
he said supposedly that he has like wooden countertops.
Yeah, wooden count. That's where I was going with it.
So I don't know. We don't really know what that means, but we want to go check.
It might
out.
have live edge. We might, I think in previous videos back in the day, I was like, I'll never do butcher block again.
I'm sure we've said that.
I've said that so many times because there's a lot of maintenance in it with it, and there's ways that you can do to avoid some of the maintenance too. So we might go in that direction, not make it food grade, but mainly it's just cost. Having someone come out here to measure and install quartz. I mean, it's it's not cheap.
This is the second house that we've gotten quotes for someone to come in, and like my mom has tried. She's like, go find this guy. They're like a discount person. Go find this local guy. Blah, blah. I don't know what it is. Our houses, they just are like, it's $8,000 and up. So for a very small counter space, I'm not quite sure why that is, but yeah. So we may do it for our island.
Yeah, we may do it for our island but that will probably be a different product. Maybe that we just pick up a slab or something. I don't know.
We're not sure.
So the Ream water heater, yes, that is it's pretty cool. It's a hybrid water heater. What's it called? Heat pump. It's got a heat pump on it. So I did consider solar water heater. I looked into it. It looks awesome. I really wanted to. I was like really diving deep. I was, Chelsea sleeping, and I'm just like, oh, we're gonna do a freaking solar water heater. And then I started thinking of all the stuff I got to do to install it and how I'm gonna lug it. I would have it probably on the roof, and I'm like, I haven't done any of the measurements to see. I'm sure it could fit on there and everything and all that jazz. But at one point we were thinking about putting solar panels up there, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And so we did consider a solar water heater. I would love to do that, like if we ever do like a small thing, because I really just want to learn more about this, about being on your own, and making things work without having to get all this expensive equipment. Because that water heater I have, it's not going to last forever. I'm going to have to replace it probably like sometime 10, 15, 20 years. I have no idea. But the Ream one, I had one similar in the townhouse, and it was in the garage. And what it does, if you're not familiar with heat pumps, is it's like it takes the heat from the ambient air, and then it uses that to heat up the water. And so it uses 440 watts. So not a lot if you know anything about electricity. For a water heater, that's not a lot at all. We were gonna go. One of our houses had an instant hot water heater, and I was like, oh, I'll just add that. And then I was doing more research, especially with our hard water and stuff. And I'm like, and then electric. I'm like, okay, that one's 13 kilowatts, and that's a small one. And then our system was 10. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to increase this. So just think about it as like our system can generate 10 kilowatts, but I'll need 13, so I don't have enough. So we increased that
just for water.
To 24. Well, it wasn't just for water heater, but that was the biggest reason. We're going to increase it to 24 kilowatts, and then I don't know. Basically, we're trying to do overkill, but at the same time, it's like, I don't need instant hot. So we went with the heat pump. I think it's going to do really well. You got to leave airflow so that if you see in there, I don't have it framed by the mechanical room. Probably nobody knows this but me, but I can see it. But I haven't framed it because I was like trying to figure it out. I'm just going to put a vent in there. But the pellet stove is awesome. It's like heating up everything. And then what's the other thing? It's like hot in the house, dude. like we don't have AC, and I'm like, man, I don't know. We have ideas and thoughts for that. I hear you. Hybrid is good. Yeah, the Gen 5. Yeah, it's cool. I think I'm excited about it. I definitely would have loved to just do a straight up solar water heater, because that literally, if you're not familiar with the solar water heaters, what Studio is talking about is that you can put basically like solar panels. You put it on you can put it on the side of the house. You can put it on the roof. Wherever there's sun, and it just direct sunlight, and it like has a pump system and everything, and it just heats up the water.
It's basically like a tube system filled with water, and then the sun heats it.
And there's a tank that holds it, super insulated, and then you literally just use that as water heat. It's hot. Yeah. It's super hot.
It's like I guess you could say it's almost like a passive.
Yeah, it's extremely passive. Yeah. So we wanted to do it because we're like, oh, it'd be cool to have like super passive stuff. And then we're like, we're getting I just there's a lot to learn, and I gotta limit how much I can handle building and doing at the same time. So that was one thing that we did not include. But I would have, if I had it another way, that's the way I would have went.
Maybe in 10, 15 years we have to release it. Why not?
Yeah.
Because we still don't know, like you said, are we going to put solar panels sometime on our roof? Would it make sense to do this solar water system instead?
Because the angle of the roof right now is actually not, it wasn't ideal for the solar. It's ideal for maybe the summer. And
the winter was
the winter is not going to be
short.
So we have some ideas to add solar, but we'll get there because that's definitely going to happen.
Let's shift gears. Let's chat about while you get your water. So we're not going to go into any specifics, but just we've had some questions like, you called a cabin. Like, what are you going to do? A very rustic kind of cabin interior? And the answer is no, we're not. We're probably going to be one of the only like houses, cabins in this county that does not have like, I don't know, antlers on the wall, probably. Which is fine. Nothing wrong with antlers on the wall. We're just not going to do it.
No, not really my thing. We're not really hunters or.
Yeah.
Just that one.
Yep, we've got one.
Actually, that one too.
One little hunter.
Hey, get out of there.
So as we think about this, and people are like, "Oh, kind of like, what's your design choice?" How would you personally, not us, how would you personally describe like your design style?
Mine.
Yours.
Well, I would say. Like contemporary modern, somewhat minimal, but it's going to be interesting because it's going to be taste of Chelsea and me, and they're not the same. Our tastes are not the same. She's completely in charge of. Well, I say she's completely in charge.
I was waiting for it. Yep, there it is.
I say she's completely in charge of the main bathroom, but I've used my veto power
more than once.
Well, yeah.
I think.
Well, this is the reason why I veto stuff, and the reason why is because I have to know. For me, I have to visualize myself installing it.
Yeah.
So if there are some things that we had, and I'm like, okay, so that's gonna go like everywhere, and I'm like. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, bro, like
you couldn't wrap your head.
My shoulders don't work that way, That's the type of stuff. So we were talking like large format stuff. We do have a couple of large format tile sheets that we may use, but they're not going to be like super high or
not the whole like 4 foot by 3 foot ones.
Yeah,
that were really heavy.
Exactly. So that's the only thing I mean about veto powers. But and I think I'm going to slowly do the half bath, which I haven't put any thought into, and I think we're going to be running out of money by then. That's going to be the last thing. So I might do that like after we move in, and just like it might be just like very bare.
So contemporary modern is how you would
describe I would say contemporary modern because it's like because some of the paint choice I didn't really even pick the colors. We kind of agreed on them.
Yeah.
But the thing is the texture, and it's like I'm like I don't know if I'm going to like this in the future, but we are going to do a texture because if you can see right here. My tape lines were amazing, and I know I could have put a lot more mud and I could have sanded it a little better, and I put 40% effort into it. I really was like, we just need to move Chelsea in here so we can get her out of the RV.
Yeah, we did so fast.
But yeah, I would say that's my taste, I guess. I don't really know the name, but it's kind of like there's a lot of stuff I'm just gonna make up too. We have some ideas that we had to scratch. Some stuff with the trim.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot more simple now. And then it's going to be just to get it in.
Yeah.
If we ever make changes, we can. What about you?
I think if I described mine, probably like making stuff up here. Probably more like eclectic, kind of maximalist. If you see my office, and kind of like. I don't want to say like bohemian because sometimes that's not really what I'm looking for, but like plants. Is plants a theme?
We definitely want a lot of plants.
Plants is the theme. So yeah, it's definitely almost like very contrarian, I guess would be the word, to what you described, like contemporary modern with a bent of minimalism. And I feel like mine's more like I like really rich colors. We put this everywhere. And then I want like plants and stuff, and you can't see it, but like the light fixtures in here are like all crystally and kind of like more classical. Because this is like just my space, or will eventually be my space. So I was like, I'm gonna do something totally different. But
do you think?
When I think about our house, there's definitely some like pieces of that I've tried to pull in that usually I get shot down on. But I'm trying.
Who's doing that?
You. With like dark wall colors and stuff.
Yeah, some of the darks I get a little worried with except the ceiling's gonna be light, so I should be a little bit more okay.
Yeah, we're not sure.
Because we don't have any light. We if you're familiar with the design of the house, we have the back door, and then we have that little window, which was supposed to be for the half bath, and then we moved the half bath to the middle of the house. And so now only thing on this eastern side is a small window and a door which bring light in. And so
it's almost like is it the mid-century modern houses? Is that what I'm thinking of? Where they have basically, it's like from the front, or what you would see of the front, there's almost no windows, and the idea is like the back is like all windows, and it's for privacy purposes. Yeah. So it's similar to that.
Yeah, similar. This is technically, when we first started, this technically to me was the front. Because everything is going to be on the other side, which is the front. Whereas like if you're driving, that's the first thing you're going to see. Yeah. But like everything that we're going to enter is going to be back here.
Yeah, I think now we call it the back.
The back, yeah, that's whatever. That's the door. That's the main door.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see, like especially when we get more into the later stages of the design, and also then like furnishings and things and painting, how we blend our two styles. Yeah, because we usually come to a compromise.
Yeah, I said modern, contemporary, but I would just to simplify things. I like literally simple. I don't like to. I like it. So nothing really draws attention to itself. And then you can have like, throw pillows or throws or something, or like decorative that can be swapped out, and that's what brings the character to the place. So like the light fixtures could be kind of fun and simple, a lot of West Elmish. If you just go to West Elm, like pretty much anything I could probably be like, oh, I like that. We got some of the stuff. Some of the stuff is going to be from West Elm. Yeah. Yeah. What's next?
Let's go to upcoming projects. Yeah. Okay. So we'll kind of do a little back and forth here. So, so in this final phase of the build, as we're calling it, what is the project you are most excited to get to? And it could be for any reason, like you actually want to do it or you just want to get it done. And then the project or projects you're least excited about.
I would say I'm least excited. No, I can't. I'll answer the most. The most excited about is probably getting the solar connected to the house. Oh, yeah. Having power in the house is going to be a game changer. Yeah. Some of the work that I need to do is some of the running the wires, and especially if you're just doing like a little bit of stuff in like one spot, it's actually kind of fun. I think it's interesting, and it's interesting to learn. And then the stuff I'm not looking forward to is like basically the stuff I'm doing now. So
everything else.
Yeah, it's like we got insulation to put in the ceiling, and so this will be in the next video coming up this weekend. But I've made so many mistakes from the get-go. I made a mistake with the insulation. I ordered the wrong one. So and I had it delivered. So the guy had it delivered, got out the truck, and I was like, cool. These look pretty big. And I was looking at them like,
because they are
24 inches on center. I needed 16. So this is my fault. I do need 24s. We need some of them, but most of our joists are 16 on center. So basically I have an extra 8 inches, and I'm either gonna try to make it work with the package I have, or I'm gonna take them back, and it's gonna be, I'm not gonna talk more about it, but
it's a thing.
It's a thing, and fixing it is like, oh my gosh, this is annoying. So this, like you said, I've said it in many videos, these are not how-to. Don't follow our lead, follow the lead of like just getting out there and just doing something. But like
the how-to is like learning from everything we made mistakes and learn from.
Yeah, learn what I screwed up on. So whatever. But yeah, the stuff on the ceiling, drywall, I'm not excited about. Yeah. Not that I'm like, oh my god,
No.
I signed up for this.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
I think so. Drywall, I'm not excited to do, but I will say it's really satisfying. Like when we put up those couple pieces the other day, because it's like, oh my gosh, this looks like a house now. So drywall for that reason. I think I'm most excited to put together the kitchen cabinets and stuff because it's going to be terrible. It's going to be really hard. But
so we went with IKEA.
So it's like modular. You know, if you've ever put anything together from IKEA, you know what it's like. Like it's
and there's
that,
like a lot of them.
but all of our cabinets.
Where's the? I moved my apps around.
But I'm really excited to like kind of see everything laid out. You know, even though we don't have our counters yet.
One sheet.
Oh, what is that?
Oh, you can see it.
Oh, there it is.
One sheet of drywall.
One sheet of drywall.
We have 7 up or something like that, but
that was a spoiler. Yeah.
Spoiler. I was gonna send it to the family group chats and to all my family, and then I kept working. So there you go. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm really excited to see the kitchen come together. You know, they say the kitchen's like the heart of the home. Well, I guess. But really, for us, like we spend a lot of time in our kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and if I very rarely have a day off, usually like my entire afternoon is spent in the kitchen, like prepping and making things, and just being like, oh, I could actually take time to make something.
I can't wait.
Yeah, we're very much looking forward to that. So I'm excited to get to that point because then we'll also be done with drywall and the ceiling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So least excited for. I don't know. Like, there's very little that's left that I'm like kind of dreading.
Yeah. So most of the stuff that we have left, most of it we have done in some shape or form. Not that like, not to say like, oh yeah, we know what we're doing, because we don't. But in some shape or form, we have done. Installing a toilet, I haven't. And that was one of the things that kind of started it. You know, it's like. Yep. We saw the guy install the toilet, and I like looked at Chelsea. Was like, I could do that. And then here we are building that house. It's like, oh, I could do that. That's nice. I mean, you can, you know, just like that's the first thing. Like, first step is like believing in yourself. You know, believe in yourself in something that you haven't done. Figuring it out. You know, I had this conversation with. I was an instructor before, and I had this conversation with one of my trainees, and then we were talking about like. I was like, I'll never be a rocket scientist, you know, or rocket scientist. Right. And he was like, oh, sure you can, Sergeant Barker. And I was like, no, I will never be a sergeant. And both of us, the mentality is there's truth to that. It's like, yeah, you can. I could become a rocket scientist. I've dedicated myself to learning everything about that's, you know, I'm not going to even explain stuff. So I'm not trying to. But my argument is like, I have no interest in it. I don't want to. There's other people who want to go study that and do it. But like, if you believe that you can do it, and you visualize, you see it, and you fail, and you do it again, and you fail, and you do it again. I mean, that doesn't go for everything. Sometimes some people like really shouldn't get into like acting and like risking their life trying to be famous. It's not about being famous or anything. It's about just the doing of whatever that is. It's like, go do it. And if you don't try, then you know, then if you don't try at all, then yeah, that's the point. Are we doing that? Yes, we are. No, we're not on the walls. On the ceiling, we are. We were planning to on the walls, and we decided not to. So one reason is because of our cladding, and so we have. On the walls, we tried to spray foam. I said try. You remember that? I tried to spray foam 2 inches of spray foam. That would have gave us 12 R12.
Okay.
Right.
R12.
I think it was 6. I think it's each inch is R6.
Okay.
So we got 2 inches roughly, and then the zip R is 6, R6 as well. So that's R18.
Okay.
And then. Our cladding, which we haven't shown anybody, we told a couple of friends and family, is R14. Yes.
So
R14.
R32?
R32. Yeah. So just between those two, the wall, the sheathing, and then the cladding, we have like R32. And if we missed a little bit, we say you even take off we have 0 of spray foam. That's still R20 between the
Right.
cladding and the zip. And so that is why. Wait, is it? Yeah, math.
Math.
14, 6, 20. So we were gonna do it on the walls and try to do like R43, and then we did the math on how much it costs, and we're like, okay, no. but on the ceiling, yeah, we are gonna do that. We're gonna have. I'm installing a fiberglass R30, which I wanted to do the rock wool. I'll say that in the next video coming up, but it was just pricey. It's a lot. It was a lot. So
We've spent a lot on insulation.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's been working out, but that's also one reason why we felt we didn't need to necessarily like extend ourselves to get more insulation for the walls, because as soon as we started heating that up and put the spray foam everywhere, we're like, it is really comfortable in here.
It's very comfortable.
And we're adding all of that to the ceilings. Of course, heat rises. So if we feel comfortable, pun intended, that we'll be okay without adding the additional insulation on the walls.
And we do have plans for a whole vent system from underneath. That was one reason why, I don't know, you guys probably don't experience this with me, but my brain just like puzzled, like what the heck? So when we moved everything from the half bath and stuff away from that wall, some of my plans for a vent system through the house just vanished. Yeah. And so I was like, how are we gonna freaking move air around? Because I don't. It's hot. It can be cold in there, but I don't like stagnant air. And Chelsea hates ceiling fans.
I don't like the look of ceiling fans.
Yeah, and so we're like, what are we gonna do?
Sorry.
So we have a couple ideas, but I think what we're gonna do is, I'd rather do it now, but it would be easier. But I think we're gonna wait until we're done. Well, I want to see how it looks, how it feels in the house in the summer, and then have a better idea. Hey, what's up, Coulter?
Hello, Coulter.
Yeah, he's our friend from Ace, so he's on his own journey. I believe you're in New Mexico now, right? But yeah, they this. What else was it with that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like you said it well.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it. That's it. Insulation. It's a very tight home. It's very tight. We do have an ERV we will be installing. That'll be part of the whole vent system. So whatever. Maybe I'm surprised. Is a bird in here?
No, they like the roof of the office. In the mornings, they fly in. Yeah, not into the office. They fly up onto the roof. I should clarify. All right, we're coming into the home stretch here of our live stream. So if you have any other questions, add them to the chat. Yeah. While we're waiting for that, we'll kind of get to our final topic. So obviously, Brian was talking about you can kind of do whatever you really put your mind to, and in that, the spirit of that, we're going to talk about what it really comes down to from a financial perspective on doing a lot of these projects yourself, right? So something we talk about a lot, especially in the beginning of this journey, was we don't have the resources to go pay for a custom home builder to design and build a home for us, right? Especially in Colorado, it's very expensive here. So that's one of the reasons, one of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Motivators for doing what we've done?
Yeah, that's one of them. There's a lot of motivators, but that's what
there's a lot of them. So something that we've started to calculate very roughly, and we're not going to get into specifics on our live stream, but we will have upcoming videos about is precisely-ish how much, you get a quote from an electrician or a plumber, for example, to do our whole house. And then we now know, since we've gotten to this point, what it costs for us to do it ourselves, which is sort of just like a materials cost and then obviously time, but the difference has been really staggering. I mean, I guess we'll just kind of like break that down a little bit as you think about like what we've done ourselves. What do you feel like has been worth for us to take on like ourselves, and what you would say, I don't know if we actually saved that much money or it took too long or whatever, and you would outsource next time?
Yeah. So some of that thought process is definitely got into like what we want to do next. If and when that happens. It may be next year, it may be 2, 3, 4, 5 years though. And we're like, okay, I would definitely Well, depending on how big it is and the size and the height, I would probably contract all the way up into freaking plumbing and electric. Yeah, and I would do plumbing and electric. And the reasons why is
up until plumbing.
Up until
okay.
Yeah, because sheathing was hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of work, and we didn't have the right equipment for what we really needed, especially in the front when it goes down. And so the hill are literally, it goes like this, right where the front of the house. And so the front of the house is 16.
16?
No, it's taller.
8?
It's 14 feet from the floor. But from the floor, there's another 14 inches. I don't know why I still have my hand up in the air. Hey, see you, Coulter.
Bye, Coulter.
We'll talk to you again soon. There was 14 inches for the joist and the rim board.
Okay. So
and then
15.
And then it's on top of 4 feet. So and then from there it goes down further.
Right.
And so yeah, I probably would have had a bigger base for the foundation, so like I can get like a lift around the house, because we couldn't get. One reason people are like, oh, get a lift. Well, I'm like, dude, I can only use a lift on
when your ground is like this.
Yeah, I can only use a lift on the back where it's already 10 feet off the ground. I just use a ladder, so it's not that bad. But on the front, really was where I needed it, and so I probably will have our guy excavator to do a bigger spot for wherever's next.
Yeah.
And then I would say plumbing and electric was those were the two biggest concerns I had. I did have Chelsea try to call a couple people to get quotes to get me out of having to do it so we can go faster. But one of the things that one of the reasons why we wanted to do this in the first place is so like when we do have maintenance issues, we can repair it ourselves. And so it's in itself is probably worth me taking however long it took me to do plumbing and electric. So in the future,
yeah, it's like the value.
Hey, thanks for joining Wood Studio.
Bye.
Good night.
The value in having like taken that time, so now you have a lifetime of that knowledge.
Yeah,
that has value.
That has a lot. I think tremendous, because there's a lot of stuff I just didn't know until you start doing it or start researching. I didn't know anything.
Right.
I didn't know anything about solar or when we left Tampa, I wanted to build a tiny office for Chelsea because I thank you.
Value.
I wanted to build a tiny office that we could just tow behind our truck. Before we had the RV, we didn't know we were gonna have an RV. Or I was like, oh, I'll tow it up and leave it, because I wanted to add solar. I was like, I need to understand how it works. I wanted to add solar. I wanted to add electricity. Actually, that's all you're gonna need. But installing a door, we had a guy install a door in our last house, and then I was like, dude, look, can I just apprentice for you for a little bit? And he was like, yeah, and he gave me his contact information. Unfortunately, it was right when I was separating from the military, so I was like super busy with that, and so I didn't do that. But there's just learning new things is cool. Yeah. I think I got sidetracked. I'm so sorry, but I would definitely outsource. Or I would love to work in conjunction with a team to do framing, because there's some stuff that there's techniques and stuff I learned from learning about building science from the Build Show and from all those guys from that awesome framers and fine home building and stuff that I was like, I really want to implement into the house. And then one of Matt Reisinger's the leader of the Build Show, and he's like, not every builder builds like this, so you might need an interview and all this jazz and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Sounds very expensive, very fast.
There's a reason we do everything ourselves.
Yeah, and I tell you, every single person, Matt
S. It's someone else.
Okay. What's up, Matt? I'm not trying to toot my own horn, because I don't think I wouldn't say we're trying to do anything special or anything. We're just trying to do things that we think make sense for what we want.
Yeah.
And well, except for the electrical inspector, the plumbing inspector, our bank loan inspector, our the guy who did the excavator. Every guy who comes in regular, we don't have a lot of people come over. Or some of the delivery guys are like who go to all these guys go to different houses. Like, this is different and this is awesome. Right. That's what like every single one of them. The plumbing guy was like almost wouldn't shut up. He was like, oh my gosh, like no one builds like this, like and does these things. It's like this is like overkill. I'm like, yeah, that's what we're trying to do. So one of that's basically what we're trying to achieve is something it's going to last longer than us. So. Hey, thanks for joining us, Matt. Oh, you're going to do it on the north side? You're going to be in Lake County. Okay.
I think I'd have to look up where Lake County is. I have an idea.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of struggles. One of if I can give you, like, the biggest thing advice I could give you is just, like, there might be moments of doubt.
There will be.
There'll be moments of doubt, but, like, press on, you believe in yourself, and just keep going, and then and everything is figure-outable. I truly believe that you can. The biggest tool that we have really is the internet.
Right.
And 20, 30, 40 years ago, I wasn't around. First of all, 40 years ago. But if I were, I probably wouldn't be doing this because I just learned so much from people online, forums. I think some people I've named a few already. There's a lot of. It is frustrating. It is so frustrating.
Yeah. Just finding like this community of people like who are leaving comments right now. They're like, "Oh, I'm about to start building a house," or people who have or have already done it in the past. It's like helpful to know that even pre-internet, obviously, people were doing this. But there's other people.
We're not reinventing the wheel.
No, we're not doing anything that hasn't been done before. So,
yeah, you can too.
Yeah.
That goes for most things.
It is. It does.
It does go for most things, but yeah.
Yeah. I think it's felt really worth it. It's interesting because sheathing it was a very long time for us to do sheathing, and it was really exhausting. And it's because
we use screws instead of nails.
Well, we use screws instead of nails.
That was my bad.
But ignoring that, if you watch other people build houses, sometimes
that's Jess.
That Jess is in here. Sometimes, or most of the time, I guess, people will sheathe the wall on the ground and then they'll lift it.
Yes.
Right?
Which is what we really wanted to do.
Which is what we thought we were going to do. And then we get here and we realize if we do that, we have created a giant sail of sheathing and the wind is going to take our wall.
Even if we tap it down to the bottom,
there's no way.
We would have needed to put the joist on top to connect them to and everything and make it really strong.
Yep. It was not going to be possible for us.
It would have blown down 100%.
100% would have. So that's why our process took so much longer. So for me, in our situation personally, knowing that we live in a windy area, to me, it's like, maybe I would outsource that next time and have someone else with machinery and stuff do it.
Ideally, we get the Amish guys to come out.
Yeah, apparently they build really fast.
Really quick.
Really fast.
They're booked out though because everyone wants them.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah. But I think now that we're getting to the point, or kind of have a shell house, shell with utilities, the plumbing, electrics in. Now everything moving forward, I'm like, this is all the stuff that feels worth it to me, financially to do yourselves, right? It's very easy to go tell someone or go ask someone hey, can you do the drywall? Hey, can you install the flooring? Those are all things you can hire people to do.
Oh yeah.
The cost savings is incredible. You know what I mean? You can spend a couple thousand maybe on drywall, just the drywall, and put it up yourselves. It may not look as good, but it's we were trying to think, how much would it cost for someone to come in and install the drywall and mud it and sand it and make it look good? And that's where we're it would probably be at least $10,000. I mean, it could be more depending on the area you're in. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh, let's see. We've got a few minutes left. So we've got a couple of comments here.
Are you going to have? What kind of equipment do you mean?
Let's see. Chad says his parents just built a house. Oh, and they had the Amish do it. Yeah, money well spent. So the Amish, from everything we've heard, tend to be very reasonably priced.
Yeah.
So I think if you were going to outsource, that would be a good place to do it. And then, what books on the shelf? So that's my romance fantasy shelf.
Yeah, because she doesn't have enough romance with me. So she has to fantasize about it.
I have to escape my reality. So we've got.
Oh, these are good. We just got a new one today too.
Oh yeah, and then I've got my journals, and then the non-romance fantasy books are all my permaculture books.
Permaculture.
Yeah.
Mountain. Permaculture.
Yeah, I've been trying to learn about plants around here. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chad said two are the same, and I do have 2 copies of the same Crescent City book because I accidentally ordered one from Amazon and Target on the release date at the same time. I'm going to donate one to our local library, and then I have 2 different versions of Fourth Wing because I saw a limited edition version on my travels one time, and I got it. So I may also donate that to the library. But great question. Lee, you asked us what equipment are you going to have? If you mean like landscaping equipment or like building equipment and stuff, Brian really wants to get a tractor, which would be very helpful, but they're very expensive.
Yeah.
So
I joke about it, but
it would be helpful.
It would be helpful.
Yeah.
One reason I wanted one was for plowing in the winter, and not to say, oh, we can use our guy, but our neighbor's awesome.
Yeah.
We just leave the gate open and he'll just come and plow.
Yeah.
He's like, if you just help with gas, or,
the cost of a tractor, giving money to the neighbor. It's a big difference there.
Yeah. So we thought about the taping and mudding. I think so. It's
a good idea, Debbie.
It really is. The paint we plan to do on most of the walls is going to have so much texture that I'm not as worried about it as much as in here.
I don't think we actually explained it, but we're thinking of doing like a lime wash paint.
Yeah, it's a lime wash, and it has a slurry in it. So it's going to be. I'm not huge on textured walls, or Chelsea's not huge on texture. We're not. Both of us are not. This is going to be different. Yeah. It's going to be. I don't know. I think I'm definitely worried about the am I going to like this in the future? But honestly, I just don't care. I just want to get it done. So we're like, okay, what's the simplest way we can just do it? We'll just paint it with this paint and call it. So are we going to do, how's the trees? Oh, trees are awesome.
The trees. Yeah. So it's still a little early here. Actually only just this week we started to see parts of the valley like greening, like grass waking up. Not so much on our property yet. We're a little higher up, but we're starting to see signs of life returning. I planted a couple of new trees in the orchard last week, because it's about that time. The ground is soft enough you can do it, but they're not really awake yet. So all of them except I think 2. Yeah, I think I had to replace 2. All of them did like leaf out and everything last year. Before we had our fence installed last year, the cows were really aggressive on like biting and chewing all the branches off, and a lot of the main like stems broke, but they all showed signs of coming back. So I'm hopeful this year we're going to get like a lot of good growth, but I don't know, I would love to plant more trees, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the trees are awesome.
Yeah, I did get 1 raspberry last year that was really good. There was a raspberry bush in between our trees. So.
Barking that you grow it somewhere.
Yeah. Well, that is pretty much, that's 59 minutes of live stream right there. Any final words?
I could talk forever.
No. That 1 raspberry was so good, Debbie. It was the best raspberry I've ever had in my life. So I'm like really looking forward to this year. And I also learned you can plant strawberries here. A neighbor told me. So I'm going to go get some strawberry shoots too.
Yeah.
Homegrown food is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
But there's a lot to look forward to. I would say I feel like this is like a different phase, a different era in the build in life also. I can't say enough how I appreciate everybody who's been encouraging and a part of this. And it's been very trying. Yeah. And there's levels of doubt in yourself, and then you go over that hump, and then something else happens and you go over it, and it's like, yeah. But this next part of even today I was doing the insulation. I'm like, gosh, man, why did I order the wrong one? This is gonna take forever. But at the same time, it's like, this time I have, this is the time I have on the earth, and that's what I want to do. I want to build a house. That's what I said I wanted to do. and I'm doing it. So like, why would I complain about, make mistakes and move
Yeah.
on? Let's read some of these comments before we head off. I was told it's hard to get home insurance if you get a permit to own or build instead of having a licensed contractor. It's true. So this was it was definitely a little tricky. What we did was, didn't we talk to our bank?
I believe we talked to the bank, but I also did an internet search. There's basically like 1 to 3 companies that will basically insure anything. So right now we have building insurance, right? Like we're not done.
Yeah.
Really the hardest part that we found when it comes to insuring is not necessarily the owner builder aspect, because if you get a CO or a certificate of occupancy, from your county, they're like, it's fine. It's passed all inspections. It's okay. So that part's not the problem. The part for us that's the problem is actually that we're so far from a fire station. So they're basically like, if your house catches on fire, it's going to burn down. So we were able to find one insurance that says we're within 10 miles of like I don't even know what to call it. It's like, I guess there's like maybe some kind of cistern thing within 10 miles that fire department volunteers could get us to. They said that counts. We were able to get insured with that, but really it's like those technicalities that we found were more difficult than actually the owner builder aspect. So don't give up hope. Don't give up hope.
We definitely had the same thoughts. Definitely in homeowner builds. That's one reason why we moved to this county. I think one of them was tiny houses, and then because we thought about that until we stayed in one for a couple nights, and we're like, this is cool, short term. I don't know if this meets what we really want long term. Nothing wrong with the tiny house.
It wasn't right for us.
Just wasn't right for us. And then, especially with getting dogs and all that stuff. And then the county was very open for homeowner builds. Just, follow the rules, do your thing. I communicate with the county. I email them every time. After we had the inspections, we passed it. I let them know where we're at. And they're like, cool, I appreciate it. Good luck. Have fun. They're awesome.
Park County is a little tricky for people who aren't familiar with Colorado. They're in like one of the counties, 1 or 2 north of us. I forget which. Yeah. We had looked at Guffey.
That was one of the first places we looked. Guffey. Yeah.
It was one of our first videos. We went to Guffey and looked around. So a lot of the advice that we give, we probably just should put a disclaimer in front of everything, which is our county is pretty lax. And owner builder friendly. So don't take our advice as like gospel for your county. But I do know the insurance thing is not necessarily county specific. So it might be a little tricky. Not all counties are super friendly in that way, but insurance usually you can find something.
Yeah, we can probably DM, or if we figure out
I gotta remember what it's called.
If we figure out the company, we'll send it your way, Teresa. I don't know what it is. But it was really easy. I think it was like $1,000.
Yeah, for like a deposit or something. I don't know. Yeah.
No, it was like $1,000 for the whole thing, wasn't it? Yeah. I have no idea. Yeah, we paid. We don't pay for it monthly or anything.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We just paid like $1,000 or something.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry.
It's a homeowner build insurance. It's not homeowner insurance.
Right.
We have to convert that when we're done.
Yeah.
But yeah. Any more questions? I think you've done great. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thanks, Debbie.
Yeah,
Thanks, Chad. Thanks everyone who put in comments, encouragement. Like Brian said, this is actually like the funnest part, if you will, of the fact that we spend a lot of time like video editing and filming and things, because it takes a lot of time and effort. But being able to like connect with people and build our little community corner of the internet is really exciting. So thanks, guys.
Are we out? Is that your signature out?
Signature out. Bye.
All right.
Oh, I can't get out of the frame fast enough. Thanks, everyone. Oh, wow, that sun is so bright. Wait. Don't worry, I've got my eclipse glasses.
It was so cloudy here.
Oh, wow, I can see the sun.
Well, yeah, of course.
Well, I couldn't before.
I love you, Dad.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
We'll see you in our next live stream. Bye.
Thanks for joining.
Oh, end.